Hello everyone! In this video we're going to draw a rough collie. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a lid, a cup, or anything else with a circular edge. On the left side, draw a smaller circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. First make 4 small marks to indicate the sides of the circle, and then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. This circle should be about half the size of the first circle. Don't draw the circles too far apart or the body will be too long. On the top right side, draw a small circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle as well. This circle should be about 1/5 the size of the first circle. Don't place this circle too high or the neck will be too long. On the bottom right side of the head, make a small mark for the first part of the muzzle. Connect the mark to the head using curved lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. This guide should be similar to an arc on its side. On top of the head, draw 2 small arcs as guides for the ears. Pay attention to the sizes and positions of the ears in relation to the head. Draw a sloping line across the entire head. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later on. Under the first circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. Bend the line in the middle to indicate a joint and then again at the bottom for the foot. Under the circle on the left, draw another long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. The line for the hind leg should bend more in the middle than the line for the front leg. Connect the head to the body using a couple of curved lines to create the guide for the neck. The line at the top should be longer and more curved. Connect the circles in the middle to finish the guide for the body. Make the top line wavy and the bottom line sloped. On the left side, draw a long vertical line as a guide for the tail. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye to the right of the construction guide and close to the edge of the head circle. The eye should be small in relation to the head. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. The left side of the eye should be similar to a less than sign. Draw a small pointy shape on the bottom right side for the inner corner of the eye. Draw a series of short strokes around the eye for a furry texture. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a bigger circle and shade it in for the pupil. Add a few lines on the sides to emphasize the shape of the eye. Shade the eye but don't overlap the tiny highlight circle. Use a value that's lighter than the pupil when you shade the eye. On the tip of the muzzle, draw a small angled shape as a guide for the nose. Pay attention to the size of the nose in relation to the muzzle. Draw the nose on top of the construction guide. When you get the size and position of the nose right, darken the shape. Draw a couple of curved lines on the left side to create the nostril. Make the bottom of the nose pointy. Draw the tip of the nose along the initial guideline. Draw a series of short strokes along the top part of the nose for a furry texture. Under the nose, draw a line that curves to the left for the mouth. Don't draw this line too close to the bottom edge of the initial arc. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Use short strokes as you darken the line for a furry texture. Under the mouth, draw another line that curves to the left for the bottom jaw. Follow the path of the guideline as you draw this line. Add a short curved line under the mouth for the gums. Draw a sloping line on top of the nose to finish the shape of the muzzle. Follow the path of the guide as you draw this line. Use the small arc on the top left side as a guide to draw the first ear. Darken the shape of the arc, but make the top part flatter. Inside the arc, draw a curved line for the folded tip of the ear. Below that, draw a series of short strokes for a furry texture. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. Use the small arc on the right as a guide to draw the other ear the same way. Darken the shape, but curve the top right side for the folded tip of the ear. Draw a series of short strokes inside the arc for a furry texture. Now use the other lines and shapes as guides to draw the rest of the head. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. Draw a curved line to the right of the eye for the thick brow. Use short strokes at the top for a furry texture. Draw short strokes below the head circle and along the left edge for more fur. Darken the sloping line to the left of the ear using short strokes for the back of the head. Add a few more short strokes inside the head to emphasize the fur. Use the angled line on the bottom right side as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Make the top part wide and gradually make the shape thinner toward the bottom. Draw a small curved shape on the bottom right side for the tip of the foot. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Use a series of short strokes on the left side to create a furry texture. The tip of the foot should be similar to a backward letter C. The top of the leg should be inside the shape of the body. Draw a couple of short curved lines near the tip of the foot for the toes. Use the angled line on the left side as a guide to draw the hind leg the same way. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Draw a curved line on the bottom right side for the tip of the foot. Bend the middle section of the leg along the guideline for the joint. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Use a series of short strokes at the top to create a furry texture. Curve the shape of the leg around the guideline. The top part of the hind leg should be a lot wider than the top part of the front leg. Draw a couple of short curved lines near the tip of the foot to separate the toes. To the right of the front leg, draw the visible portion of the front leg that's on the other side. Use the first leg as a template as you draw this leg. Draw this leg slightly higher than the first leg. Add a curved line at the bottom to separate the toes. To the right of the hind leg, draw the other hind leg that's on the other side. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Place this leg slightly higher than the first hind leg. Use the first hind leg as a template as you draw this leg. Draw a couple of curved lines near the tip of the foot for the toes. Now use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Use a series of short strokes as you follow the path of the guides for a furry texture. Use slightly longer strokes along the underside of the body for longer fur. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you darken the lines. Draw the shape of the tail around the guideline that's on the left side of the body. A big part of the tail will be hidden behind the hind leg. Use short strokes at the bottom for a furry texture. Now erase the guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. Rough collies can have a variety of coat patterns. For this pattern, add a medium value to the head and body, but leave the area around the neck, the chest, and the legs blank for the white fur. As you shade, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur. Use longer strokes on the left side of the head for the longer fur. Use a dark value for the nose and ears. Leave a thin strip blank along the top part of the muzzle and head for white fur. Use a lighter value across a sloping section on the body to create highlights on the fur. As you shade, separate the strokes so that the white of the paper comes through and creates a more furry texture. Use a darker value throughout the body to create some shadows. Add a few light strokes on the white sections for a furry texture. Draw a shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the collie. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.